Plants vs Zombies 2, a game I can't get enough of. So I've decided to attempt being Plants vs Zombies 2 only using fire plants.
Hey, y'all got it. Y'all gotta press subscribe, man. Hey, I need to be set free.
Hold on, before we start, let's talk about some of the basic rules already in place for this challenge. So the rules that we're going to follow throughout this whole series: rule number 1, no leveling up any plants whatsoever except for the level 2 mandatory peashooter at the start of the game. But other than that, we're completely fine. Rule number 2, no power-ups are allowed. Last but not least, you can only use fire plants throughout the series. If you're not a fire-breathing dragon or a wasabi whip thingy-majiggy, you cannot be used in this challenge. And just because I hate myself, we also won't be using sunflowers. Were you all caught up now? Let's get straight to it. Welcome to the Neon Mixtape Tour world, and it had some unique features that made it a bit different from other worlds. When music played, different zombies had different abilities, which were kind of annoying, but we'll deal with that when it comes. And later in this world, we'll add some new plants, because normally we start off with additional plants going into the world. So around day 10, so stick around to day 10 to see the new plants that are going to be added to our arsenal, make it spice up the gameplay deeper into the episode. But for right now, day 1 is a day 1, nothing too serious. I ended up just going with an inferno layout just to feel how the level will go and just getting used to the zombies that the Neon Mixtape Tour would provide to us. And it is day 1, so there's absolutely nothing challenging coming from this level. We flew through it on the first attempt, so let's just go to day 2. Day 2, we started off with a plant already there, so we just sold it for extra sun to start off, and we actually placed down some blaze leaves, which is just the best plant for the price so far in this playthrough. Maybe we'll change from the new plants that we acquire later on, but for right now, this plus Pyrovine go absolutely crazy. And we were actually first introduced to the new zombie on day 2, being the Rockstar zombie. When music kind of plays, it kicks plants back, and as you can see, it kicked one of my blaze leaves back and didn't make it my beautiful even symmetry layout that I always go for. But it was kind of cool to see. They got really annoying in later levels, so just keep that in mind for later levels, as well as future zombies I'm going to talk about when we see them, when we first encounter them. But so far it's been nice and easy, but that does change kind of from day 21 onwards, so let's kind of go through to day 3. Day 3 was a conveyor level where we couldn't beat it only using fire plants, so we quickly just flew through it and moved on to day 4. And day 4 was a bit more interesting. There was a lot more difficulty in just day 4 alone, so I was like, damn, this challenge is going to get quite difficult. But you start off with a blaze leaf, and we slowly built up to them so we can attack all lanes no matter what at the set, because you know the sunfall is finally back after the dark ages. If you haven't watched that video, go watch it. It was incredibly hard. I still don't think any level is going to be as hard as that, especially modern day. I genuinely don't think it's going to be that hard, but we'll see when we get there. But we built up some blaze leaves, and then we put wasabi whips behind them just to deal with any of the faster zombies getting through, and just to deal extra damage to make sure our blaze leaves don't die. And with the blaze leaf special ability, I know a lot of you have been saying this too, this is off topic, but the animation looks absolutely terrible. It doesn't match the game at all. I don't know, I think they just cheaped out on the animation for it anyways, but it's a bit goofy, but it does so much damage that I just love it, so it has to be done. But day 4 overall was easy. Cheeky blaze leaf plant food, we run through it nice, pushing us to day 5. Day 5 had a couple of endangered plants, which eventually just got pushed by the Rockstar zombies, which gave me ideas for future levels. And blaze leaf and its special ability was insane. With the peppermint being free, we just did damage, and we actually ran through day 5 really quickly. I saw 3 flags of waves that would come up, and we absolutely blazed through them, because when a wave would come out, I just used the blaze leaf special ability and I destroyed every single zombie there. And it was overall easier than I thought it would be. I thought the endangered plants being so close to where the zombies come from, it would be fine, but overall it was really easy, pushing us to day 6. Day 6 was a conveyor level, had no fire plants, had nothing interesting happening. They had a cool roller skating zombie that made the zombies behind it like invincible, which is unfair as hell, but okay. And she instantly killed plants too, which is really annoying. Yeah. Neon Mixtape Tour, I don't know what's happened. This is crazy. Day 7, we come in and we had some pre-selected plants, and obviously we can't use them because they're on fire, so we had a limited choice of fire plants. But I use the same plants every single time. Blaze leaf, because he's the GOAT. Overall, he might not be the best plant out there, but for this challenge, the fire only challenge, he does bits, and I'm going to keep to him. The Rockstar zombies come out and they're in stupid lanes, but we can deal with them quickly by 2 blaze leaves to go to, attacking all lanes. But there are some flaws in this that can be seen. When the Rockstar zombies, they're faster than regular zombies, so they do get to push us back, but it is nothing a peppermint can't fix to kill off all the cone heads as well as the Rockstar zombies. It was just a wave of these flipping roller skate zombies that just caused problem, and nearly killed off all of our plants, but somehow bust case, and we got through the level. That was a masterclass. We did lose a blaze leaf, don't get me wrong, but we still bust case. And then we used the last blaze leaf plant food to eliminate all the zombies pushing us. Day 8. Day 8, really not much happened. There was a lot of rockstar zombies towards the end, but we had a blaze leaf which just violated everybody on screen, pushing us to day 9. And day 9 also we couldn't beat because it was sun produced as well as pre-selected with 0 fire plants, so we couldn't beat this level only using fire plants. And day 10 as well was a conveyor level with 0 fire plants. So let's have a little talk. Ooh. So like I said at the start of the video, we're going to introduce some new plants to help us age, because if you look at it, we don't really have much plants that are being given from the Neon Mixtape Tour. So let's add a few to make it a bit more interesting and have some fresh plants in our arsenal. On opening the store, we went to look for some fire plants that we can actually use, and let's just say we purchased a good few. And these plants actually had quite unique abilities, and I purchased 2. Let me know if these were good decisions, bad decisions, because I actually don't know if I was using them effectively. And number 1, we have a plant that I genuinely was so baffled when you told me about this, and this is going to be the frost bonnet. Oh yeah, makes no sense, frost in a fire thing, but it makes sense, trust me. So it actually originally is a frost plant, but if you click on it, it switches to a fire variant, and a bit similar to Snapdragon. You're going to see it coming up on upcoming levels, so I'll leave it here for now. And up next, number 2, we have the jack-o'-lantern, and this is also a fire plant, as you can see from the green lantern. It burns 3 rows in front of it, dealing a lot of damage, and it was quite nice. You're going to see all these coming up, so I don't need to describe them too much, but these are the plants that we acquired for now, and we might add more later. Who knows? Stick around and we will see. So with that, now we can return back to the Neon Mixtape Tour. Day 11 was a pre-selected plant level, so we're just going to skip this to go to day 12, where I can actually introduce you to some of the new plants. Day 12, we have our first introduction of the frost bonnet with a fire variant of it, and it does quite a lot of damage, especially for its range being kind of like a mixture of the Snapdragon. And it's really cool, especially the special ability that hits in front of it and behind it, both fire and ice. Well, it's a fire plant nevertheless. Day 12 was a nice level to see how all of the plants worked out, our new ones, jack-o'-lantern and frost bonnet. And it did make me kind of realize that jack-o'-lantern is a bit too expensive for his 1 lane attack only, being 225, so maybe in the future I won't be using it as much, but nevertheless, new plant is a new plant. Moving on to day 13. Day 13 was a plan your defense level. We absolutely blazed through it. Tragedy for the zombies. Day 13, nice beautiful work, so it's on the fly through it, no difficulty at all. Day 14 had pre-selected plants with no fire ones, so we couldn't beat this as well with fire plants. And right here, we're gonna have to do a time skip, because I promise you, it was the most filler piece of content I done ever filmed so far in this series. Day 15 to day 21 was really just filler, conveyor levels, or just boring and no action. So we're gonna skip to day 21. But every single levels that could be beaten with fire plants were beaten, but a couple of levels were conveyor levels, and you know how that goes. We just allow it because you can't beat it with fire plants only. I know I said day 15 to day 21 was kind of filler. Day 22 is also conveyor levels. So okay, day 23. Day 23, you know how we start off always with the blaze leaf on row 2 and lay 4, just to deal with all the bad guys coming in. And there has been a couple of new zombies that have been shown in the past levels that I haven't shown so far in this episode, but we have this kicker zombie that is quicker than regular zombies and kicks zombies forward. There's also arcade zombie, which spawns out 8-bit zombies, which are really just annoying. But once the arcade is actually fully broken, it also just stops spawning zombies. But the most annoying of them all is this hip-hop zombie. He just violates everybody, and you'll see in kind of later levels how bad he really gets. And the rate that he spawns out one was absolutely violating. And we did lose a lawnmower here, and it came in very vital in the last 5 seconds of this world, if I beat it or not. But the blaze leaf does clear up any mishaps that we do have. And with the final wave coming in, I thought I was in a really good position, and it looked like so. There wasn't too much coming out, but the arcade zombies did make it hard. And right here, all the zombies destroyed my plants on the lane that I lost the lawnmower earlier. And I thought I was cooked, but we had enough to put that Inferno and also a Pyrovine just to deal with them. And it thankfully worked out with the Inferno pushing zombies back as well as just dealing hella damage. So thankfully, we bet the level with no problem on the 3rd try. Day 24, I went with the safest option of playing your defense. It's just full of Infernos. 2 rows of them at that. But we did have a bit of a problem deeper in the level where the Gigantuars destroyed the Infernos somehow, but it was the sonic boom that traveled against the whole lawn, killing them. But we had all the lot more safe, so we just end up winning anyways with that. But it was a nice fact that I just didn't think about on day 16 when we first declared the Gargantua of this world. Nevertheless, nice and easy level pushing us to day 25. Day 25, I decided to go with a new starting plan, and that would be all Infernos at the start. Slowly, eventually just building up our Inferno base. I just wanted to get one in each lane because they do so much damage and they also push zombies back. It was kind of difficult to save up 200 sun for each plant, which I did see the problem, especially in these later worlds. The sunfall isn't as good as, like, you know, ancient Egypt, the pirate seas, but we could use plant food ability to bring all the zombies from one lane up to a one. But eventually I had all them done, but the second lane had way too much zombies, so we did lose one lawnmower in this. But there was nothing that a peppermint couldn't burn its way through all the lanes and help me get to day 26 with not much problem either on day 25, being quite a relatively easy playthrough so far. And if you're wondering where day 26 is, it was useless. Day 27. Yeah, man, day 27 was also conveyor level. I know it's really becoming tragic after like day 15, but it's tragic, man. Day 28. Day 28 is a day I can finally say there wasn't no really catch. We did get a pre-selected carrot, but I got to select the rest of the plan. So we obviously went with my go-to setup, not being the Infernos, being the Blaze Leaf plus the Frost Bonnet for this level. And we had a Disco Zombie, which, I mean, I think he just made my plants not attack, but I didn't really get to see this because there was no other plants out there. And did he summon extra ones? I don't know. Maybe that was just a wave or the level. I mean, he's kind of cool, I get. Nah, I can't lie to myself. He's not cool at all, man. He sucks. And with the level heating up quite a bit, we put down a peppermint just to deal with all the zombies pushing us to the wave. And I kind of had a bit of a stinky Frost Bonnet setup. I didn't really know what I was doing, and I'm kind of upset with it. And the buckethead zombies did kind of just violate me here. I didn't have enough time to put off the Blaze Leaf to kill the buckethead from getting the middle Frost Bonnet, which kind of annoyed me. But after this, the level went very terrible. I lost nearly every single armor. I don't know what happened. Maybe the whole like trajectory of the level was distributed terribly. I genuinely don't know. Everything went wrong. But I mean, we bet the level, so we'll take it, I guess. Man, day 29 was just an odd level. I started out how I start all levels with a beautiful Blaze Leaf, because what else? You already know my style. Blaze Leaf, 2 and 4, and we go from there. This level started off beautifully. Everything was going well. Matter of fact, I kind of felt it was kind of a short level. Didn't really last that long. Maybe like 4 minutes in overall just length. Maybe I put the Blaze Leaves too far back and it just didn't work well. But I had 2 down. What could have went wrong? Everything went wrong. Eventually, it was like 55 different arcade guys. And I didn't really understand how the Jack-o'-lantern plant food ability worked. It did help me, but then the way it worked, it just didn't kill all the zombies that could have been killed by the Blaze Leaf at one time, and then it really just messed me up there, and I got absolutely fried. I didn't have any lawnmowers left. I had 1 Blaze Leaf left, and then I had to spam him and use some of my coins for plant food to get the Gargantua to finish the level. But this was the closest call, and probably one of the harder levels in this world. Yeah, thankfully it's done, and we're moving on to day 30. Day 30 was quite a nice level. I decided to switch it up from the typical Blaze Leaf method, as I just wasn't really enjoying it as much as I was, and I just felt the Inferno method of having 1 Inferno down, then just having 2 Blaze Leaves and hoping they go in the middle lane to deal double damage wasn't reliable enough. So the Inferno definitely just held up better. With the 200 cost, it was 25 more sun than the Blaze Leaf, but when you had them all down, which I couldn't believe I got 1,000 sun in this level alone, was just crazy alone. But it was tough kind of towards the end of the level, getting that 5th one down. But eventually we got it down, and we absolutely destroyed this level, pushing us to day 31, which was a level that was a conveyor, so we don't really have to even think about that one. Matter of fact, we can even skip towards day 32, which, if you know correctly, welcome to day 32, also known as the Dr. Zomboss Neon Mixtape boss battle. And let me be honest, this one was definitely my least favorite design of the Zomboss battle. Like, just look at him. He doesn't even look that unique. I mean, he has like spiky hair. It doesn't compete with the dragon. That's basically what I'm saying. And overall, you know, it's a conveyor level with 0 fire plants. Another boss level that we just can't beat only using fire plants. And we're technically like 1 in 6 now from just 1 in 7 from boss battles that we beat with fire plants, which is kind of tragic, but you get to beat 1, so it's better than none. right? It was overall quite a fun boss battle, and we bet him eventually with the cactuses just chipping away at his health overall. Definitely one of the longer boss battles throughout this, and the Gargantuars on like 4 of them on the lane that I had no longer was really annoying. I was like, this game's really trying to set me up. We got it done, and it finally pushed us to the Jurassic Marsh. The Jurassic Marsh is definitely going to be a lot more exciting level with a lot more general content that we can actually do instead of conveyor levels and stuff like that. But if you want to catch up and watch the full mini movie to catch up on all other worlds, click the video on the left. If you want to see the playlist for all other videos, if you just want to watch select one, the video on the right, and make sure you subscribe to see the future one, and I'll see you in the Jurassic Marsh.